What up, guys, and welcome to Summer Lunch Break. For today's episode, we sit down with the co-founder and creator of Lyft Foils, Nick Leason. There's no doubt that you guys have seen these boards on social media, YouTube, or even on your local waterway. And there's no doubt that you've probably wondered how in the world they work. Well, Nick is a wicked engineer and a very avid surfer, so it's no surprise that he created the original electric foil. And today, he gives us the inside scoop on how this board came to be from an idea to a board that pushes the limits of surfing in more ways than one. So grab your food and grub out with us. It's Nick Leason.
You know what I'm really scared about is if the wakeboarders get too close to shore, they may use some people on the shore as bonking items.
Alrighty, Nick Leason, creator of Lyft Foil. Welcome to Summer Lunch Break.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. First question of the day, I have to ask either what you had for lunch or what you're having for lunch now.
No lunch right now. I just had some delicious vegetable green curry and took a nap. Now I'm waking back up with some Laird superfood green matcha deliciousness.
Oh, I tried matcha for the very first time this week. I was not a fan.
Oh no, you got to try Laird. So it's all this stuff is
Okay.
delicious, but this one's really good.
Okay.
It's a great afternoon.
I'll give it
midday treat.
another shot.
Yeah.
So tell us
Replace the coffee.
where you replace the coffee. And I'm not a coffee drinker really, so maybe that. Okay, I'll try the other kind. But what I'd like to know is where you are currently, as well as what time it is there for you.
I'm in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. It's 2:18 p.m. So we're on Eastern Standard Time for the time being. We don't do daylight savings time, but yeah, we're on the northwest corner of Puerto Rico here in the Caribbean.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to get started here with just a couple of questions, on your backstory. And I'd just love for you to tell me, as well as everybody listening, kind of, just some history on you and what got you to where you are today, business-wise and career path-wise.
Oh boy. Well, yeah. So where to start? I mean, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I'm a surfer, I guess, before anything else. That's kind of my religion, my lifestyle. My dad, got us into surfing when we were just kids. So I was 4 years old, and we kind of grew up around that. All our family trips were with surfboards, and everything that we do that exciting is surfing. And when I say surfing, I say like the general spectrum of surfing, windsurfing, kite surfing, whatever kind of gliding on the water, just being in that active lifestyle is kind of what we grew up doing. And I went out to school in the mountains and studied mechanical engineering, with a minor in powder snowboarding, and and came back home because home is where the heart is. And
sure.
I discovered hydrofoiling when I was just out of school. That was 2009. I discovered hydrofoiling when it first kind of just touched into the scene for kite surfing. There was somebody who was trying to build a carbon fiber hydrofoil for kiting. It was kind of a first attempt, some good progress there, but kind of crude. And I fell in love with it, and I was looking for things to do and projects that we had. And I kind of dug into that when I wanted to learn how to design a hydrofoil for myself and everything that it takes to build it. And so I just kind of listed out, the things in that project, the things that I had to learn and what I had to master. And that was over 10 years ago. And I'm still, running down that list, on the never ending quest to master that. But we got into a small business of, eventually I started something with my dad. We were building custom boards, surfboards and paddle boards. We were building 14-foot, 18-foot all carbon fiber paddle
Wow.
boards, you know, all custom painted racing machines. So we learned a lot about craftsmanship and carbon fiber and that kind of art. And at the same time, I was building a lot of foils for kite surfing and just building them all from scratch, tuning and tweaking. It was kind of it was an artistic process and an artistic business. It wasn't really a moneymaker at all, but it was very educational. And then in 2015, we ventured into the idea of building the electric hydrofoil, the e-foil. It was an idea that just kind of took over all spaces in my brain there, and it became an obsession. And we really just kind of dug into it, and it took control of the business direction.
Totally.
And we really dug in hard. In 2018, we launched our first e-foil and started deliveries, and our kind of the scope of our business just changed from that project forward. It became something totally different. But I mean, different but the same, right? We're still digging into all the hydrofoils, but we got a little bit more proper. We got a little more professional.
Yeah.
You know, we got more serious, and
Totally.
it's been awesome. I mean, it like they say, you know, overnight success takes 10 years. That's kind of what it took to get people to start foiling. And we finally found the tool and the product to really get it out there in the market and really get people moving and growing. So that's kind of where we are today as a business, you know, as a sports kind of jumping out onto the scene. You know, that's really where we started. It's been a long run, you know, new for everybody else, but it's been a bit of a long run for us.
Totally. Well, thank you for sharing all that. We're going to backtrack just a little bit, touch on a couple of things that you mentioned, because I definitely want to get as much information as I can. Kind of touch on this a little bit, but you know, the idea of an electric foil, where did that stem from? Was there a day that you just were like, what if it operated itself? You know, that kind of thing. So where did that idea really, truly come from?
Really, truly, I tell this story sometimes. Sometimes I water it down, but it really sparked. The idea came from a friend of mine who is really creative and is one of those like handy guys that's out there. He approached me we were building all the foils, and he wanted to put like this hobby motor on one of my foils. He's like, hey, I want to attach this motor to that foil, and we just kind of dug into a conversation of, is that possible? Is it enough power? What would it take? You know, like just started kind of looking at the parameters to see is like that even like really a possibility. And it was one of those conversations that you kind of have. We have a lot of those conversations, you know. I get people all the time. It's like kind of these wild ideas or something, and sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't, you know. And that one kind of stuck. It was definitely floating around my brain. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. That'd be neat. You know, it just wasn't really complete. And then I kept thinking about it. And one day I was just on vacation. We were in the mountains. We ate a couple of mushrooms, and you know, I saw.
There
I
it
saw
was,
full,
the Lyft
you know,
foil.
There it was, 100%. I just like really just kind of like sunk in deep, and I could really see the visual of what that product would be and what that product could become and what the potential was, and everything that it could do. And I just kind of fell in love with it then and there. Like I was just kind of seeing it and really just like processing it. It was just kind of calling me. And I went home, and I just totally not shut off exactly what we were working on, but I was kind of like, I'm done working on these items. I'm going to build this product, and I'm going to make it happen. I saw the vision and of what it could be. And now I need to kind of dig in and make that happen. And so that was the beginning of the journey. And then, you know, started the really hard work of like, okay, so what is this actually, like, how are we actually going to put this together? What do we need to learn? Who do we need to contact? You know, what are the missing components? How do we do a proof of concept? You know, all that stuff was a big mission. But that one initial, you know, I did have that one, oh my goodness kind of moment, like
that moment. Yeah.
Simple.
That's amazing.
Life's hidden treasures.
That's amazing. Awesome. How many
like I said, I water it down sometimes, but
I love
Yeah.
it. That sounds like it was definitely a good realization moment. I love it. How many prototypes did you have to make before you were like, okay, we got it. This is it.
Mm. You never have it. This is it. In my world, it's like it's never there.
Okay.
I'm still going. So
I
I
guess
think we're on like.
the first one that was like, this is what I
No,
was
I see you.
imagining, and yeah.
Oh no, I understand. I understand what you're asking. I mean, you know, it's iterations. We had, like I said, it was from 2015 into 2018, late 2000. So it was at least 3 years of tunes, tweaks, designs, parts, pieces, this, that, the other. Um, and you know, like the first one didn't go. We had to tune it, tweak it, and then it went 30 feet and fizzled out, and then you know it went a minute and then you know fizzled out, and then it went 5 minutes and fizzled out, and so we just kind of kept extending the boundaries, and then we finally got it riding around for a whole battery, and but we had to fine tune the components, and so it's kind of an iterative process to get there. It's not like a cut and dry
Totally.
steps, but it years, and we're still working on it. We're still tuning and
Totally.
tweaking and trying to get to where we really want to be, so it's never ending.
I also want to ask, here's another question. I also want to ask, just over that time period from when you had that vision and when you started and to even where you are right now, just all the time, the money, the energy, have you ever had a time where you were like, I can't, where you thought that like you were going to give up and it wasn't going to happen? Did you ever have one of those moments?
Sure, like this morning. No, I'm just joking. It happens. It happens all the time. It's hard.
Mhm.
It's a hard process, and it's really building something is a very heartbreaking process too. It's like it's a love relationship, and it's a heartbreak over and over and over again, because like you try, you fail, and then you succeed, and you're like
Yeah,
yes, and then you just get worn down, you get worn out, and so there's always times where you're just like, oh my god, what am I doing? What is this
mm,
doing to me? um
totally.
is this, be careful what you wish for, kind of thing. So we have those moments, but I think I discovered this about my character a long time ago. Like, I'm an Aries. I'm like I'm a fighter. I'm a like I like to go. I don't like to fail. I don't like to
Yeah,
quit. It's not really, I like to think that it's not in my DNA. Like I'm very stubborn that way. And so like
totally.
I think part of it, if we have any success, if we look at it and consider success, I would say that part of that is because we don't give up. Like
Yeah,
we're pretty good at like picking ourselves up, after falling flat on our face, and keep going. Um,
yeah.
and we still do it, man. I run into stuff all the time because we're a growing
Oh, I
business, so
bet.
we run into new challenges, all the time, and we're still
Totally.
designing and creating new product, so it's but we're doing it. I've never really fully considered giving up. I
Well,
just
that's
joke
good.
around. It's my dad jokes with me, like, everybody, like, people ask me, what's your plan B? And he's like, it's plan A. He's only got plan A.
Like, we're only doing it this one way and it's gonna work.
It's gotta work. Yeah, there's no
I
plan B.
love it. Awesome. Well, speaking of kind of even having those moments, or even when they're, those moments of just like, oh my gosh, we got to pick ourselves back up again. Are there any noteworthy, like, biggest challenges that you've faced that you'd be like, yeah, I didn't expect that to be so difficult? Or even, after that, like the brightest moments that you've had, maybe your first couple pro models, the one that ran the longest out of all the ones you've done before, stuff like that. Do you have any of those you'd like to share with us?
I would say in general, if I were to think of it that way, I'd say like the biggest challenge is always people,
Mhm.
because it's not a one-man show. I don't care what you're building or what you're creating. You're going to
Totally.
need help from everybody else. It's always going to be a team effort.
Yeah.
It's never like one single person doing something. And the challenge is finding those people and organizing them and getting them on your vision. You know what I mean? Like getting everybody aligned to kind of march at
Mm-hmm.
the right pace. And you know, people fall off and you got to bring them back in there and put them together. And it's the biggest challenge for me always is people, you know? So like you have to be good at just kind of inspiring and keeping people rolling.
Yeah.
And then again, like we just talked about, you know, like you're going to fail, you're going to make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. Like it's never, you never succeed right out the box, and it's going to take you a lot longer. I don't care what you're doing. It's going to take you a lot longer than what you thought. You know what I mean? It's going to cost you more money than what you thought. It's going to test you. It's going to test you more than you can imagine. And you have to be ready for that. So like you have to, whatever idea you're going to jump out and do and create, you have to love it. You have to be really confident that that's what you want to do and like that's what you want to create. If not, don't start. You know what I mean? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
what it's going to take to kind of overcome those challenges and those failures.
Totally. Cool. Well, last question in kind of this category that we're on is, I would love to know as well, I'm pretty sure everyone else that's going to listen to this would love to know, is what you love and enjoy most about creating these products.
Exactly that. I love creating these products. So I like to go out and ride them. I ride them every day,
Yeah.
you know, but I have more fun designing and building and dreaming
Okay.
than I actually do like, you know, going out. I love that first ride. You know, I love that
Totally.
first ride, that excitement of like, is it going to work? What's it going to do? What's it going to feel like? You know, but like the whole months and years and whatever it is, like building up to it, like the dreaming and the imagining of what it's going to do or what it's going to be like or what it's going to look like that whole process is the most exciting for me. I'm a dreamer.
I love it.
I enjoy that part. I just like, I like dreaming up new items. I like building them. I love it when the team comes together and comes up with cool ideas, and I just love to see it become a reality. And then, you know, actually the part that's like super cool is that when you have a general public or a population that they love it too, and they write you back and they're like,
Totally.
this thing's awesome. You know what I mean? that makes you feel good about, you know, and it comes back to the question of like, you ever have those moments where you're just like, what am I doing? I have that all the time. And then I have customers be like, this is awesome. I'm like, okay, well, maybe, you know, maybe it's worthwhile. Maybe we're actually doing something worthwhile, you know, so you can get kind of get caught in your own little thoughts in your own head.
Yeah. You work hard, play hard.
Sure.
Well, speaking of, we'll move into kind of a more like current, like Lyft has been around since 2015, 3 years, about. The first one was released 2018, right?
For the e-foil, yeah, we released in 2018. Lyft has been around when we incorporated in 2010 with our
2010.
hydrofoil. So anybody that's been like watching the history of foils, you know, they'll know that, oh yeah, Lyft was that little company in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha. Well, I'd love to know for the electric foils, how many current models are available today?
How many current models? So there's 4 main models, like 4 board sizes. And then from there, you can kind of mix and match different components. So there's 9 different front wings, there's different rear wings, there's different propulsion units, there's mast sizes. So there's quite a bit of mixing and matching that you can do to build a foil that's perfect for you. But I would say to start out the gate, you start with the board size. There's 4 sizes to kind of choose from.
Totally. Awesome. And I would also like to ask, you know, when someone buys this product, what are they getting? Not just the physical thing, but just, everything behind it, you know, like, does that make sense?
Sure. I mean, readjusting. There's a lot that comes into it. So if you buy an e-foil, you know, one is you bought a complete package and it has everything that you need to go out and ride. It's got the bags, the chargers, the batteries, every single part and piece and component. There's nothing missing in there from you, like having everything that you need to have a great time. But it's also, it's a great foundation too, to kind of then mix and match new components. So like once you're kind of in the club with that, it's like, oh, okay, well maybe, maybe you've been riding the same setup and maybe you're getting a little bored and you want to switch it up. You don't have to buy a whole new e-foil to switch it up. You can buy a small component. It can be like a different assembly for the propeller. It can be a different wing, you know what I mean? And those are going to change the ride completely. So like once you have that first package, there's a lot of iterating that you can do from there, with smaller components. And you also have, you have our support from the company. We're a small company, so like it's first name basis. Still,
Yeah.
Everybody kind of knows our staff and whatnot, and we get them supported. And then we have like outside of our company, we have, it's kind of this unofficial club of riders, right?
Yeah.
Everybody on an e-foil. So you're kind of part of that movement. You're part of something new. You're part of this new amazing feeling. You're the flyers.
So, I love that.
And yeah, like when you feel it, you're like, oh yeah, I get it. Like we're speaking another language. So there's a lot that comes to it. With those magic boxes that show up in the mailbox.
I love it. Well, moving forward to the future, I would love to know or just pick your brain a little bit on where you see Lyft going for years to come.
Well, that's a fully loaded question. So where are we going? I mean, I have a bigger dream for my brand. I don't think I'll disclose everything that we're working on.
You don't have to.
No, it's fine. But we're like right now, the two main segments that we're a part of. One obviously is our e-foil. It's our kind of bread and butter for the business. It's growing the fastest, and that has still a ways to go, right? It's an expensive product,
Yeah.
I'd like to see performance enhancements, and there's a lot of things that I know I can do with that product to just get it just even better. So I have a visual of what that's going to be within a couple of years here, and we're working on it. We're constantly working on it.
Totally.
So I see that becoming more mainstream. I see it becoming more versatile for the public, depending on what kind of ride they want to do. You might have some people that are just kind of cruising around really lightly. You might have some kids that are doing backflips, and exciting stuff like that on flat water. So I see it moving that way. We're also in the surf realm, our non-powered hydrofoils. And that part I think is just amazing. It's really one of my favorites. One of the coolest things that I've been doing recently is more downwinders, just kind of open ocean surfing. And it'll be a 10 to 15 mile run. Just drop me off up the street there, and drop me off. I'll see you back at home, and cruising down through the open ocean, just gliding like a bird. You really do feel like you are flying, and I think most people people are getting into it behind the boat and they're surfing and stuff, but they have not yet fully grasped what the capabilities are on a foil. And it's getting better. It's getting better with every design iteration. And I see that there's going to be a bigger movement of people like kind of coming into that sport and growing that. And when they get into it, then who knows where it'll go and what it will become. But like surfing on the foils has a long way to grow as well. And then I'm looking at other watercraft and stuff like that applies. We're getting pretty sophisticated with our electronics and with our design, the material selection, all that stuff. So Lyft is an exciting company now, and a couple of years from now it'll probably be a really exciting company. So the vision is not yet complete.
Okay, I love it. That's good. We have more to look forward to from you and the Lyft company as a whole. It's awesome. Oh, yeah. Well, I can't wait to see what's to come in the future. But other than that, that's all the questions I have for you.
All right. No problem. I appreciate it.
Thank you very, very much for joining us, Nick. I'm so excited to share this with everybody. It's going to be awesome. So we look forward to the future of Lyft. Yeah, thank you. All right,
have a good one.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.